Hey, welcome to the Showbam Show. My name is Sage, and here on the Showbam Show, we celebrate startup culture, mental health, and what people are up to. And guess what? We have some awesome donut fans here. The creators. Because one thing is you haven't watched our videos, so I'll explain it.
Okay.
Basically, people do so much more than what we realize. So what we've started doing is having people introduce themselves, only because there's so much more you're probably doing. Like, I didn't know about the mental health side of your donuts, like that. So let you guys get started. Tell us how you started this whole thing.
Cool. I'm Makaylah.
I'm Fia-Lynn.
And yeah, we created Frankie D's Donuts. We don't have Frankie with us. She is the mascot, our dog.
Oh my gosh, yes, Frankie.
Yeah, so
Goofy Labradoodle.
yeah, so Frankie is who the business is named after. She's completely obsessed with donuts, which is why we created little doggy donuts for her. Yeah, how did we get started? The story starts where you started baking, right?
Like before the pandemic, December 2019, I was watching the Nailed It show where everybody messes up their baking, and I was like, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna bake. And I just dove in full blast. Started with donuts, which is very random.
So random. I feel like people start with cookies or a cake or something basic.
We're gonna start easy, donuts.
I know, right?
I go for it. I had lots of courage from Nailed It. So, and then I just was baking obsessively, and Frankie was eating everything I made. She just every time I was baking, she's ready in the kitchen, I'm ready.
Yeah. And then fast forward a few months, I think we were start of COVID now, March or April 2020. I was on the phone with a new friend at the time. And at the end of the conversation, she was about to hang up and she said, oh no, I forgot to tell you, I accidentally started a donut business. And I was like, hold up. That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And
talk more.
Yeah. And she worked in a restaurant with her husband, who actually is a chef. Zach, her name is Mika, shout out to you guys. And she, I got off the phone, ran out to Fia-Lynn, was in the living room, and she could hear the commotion, something had happened. And I ran out and I was like, babe, I think we should deliberately start a donut business. And it was so left field because our background is in business, but in retreats and workshops and online marketing and coaching.
Business consulting.
Yeah, not a
baking.
food business or baking. No, we have no background in food. So yeah, that's how it all then began. We decided, it'd be cool to focus it around Frankie, and the ball kind of was rolling from there. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And what did you have to learn to even start this? Because this is a totally new field.
Everything.
A lot.
How to even be in a kitchen, and how do you operate this dishwasher? And
right? I remember.
What do you do, period? What's prep?
Yeah. Literally everything. We had to learn everything. Yeah. So Mika actually, the friend, and she's in Manitoba, and so she had accidentally started this donut business, but she was working in a kitchen and just started offering donuts as a part, I think once a week or something. So she had been working on a recipe, and she sent us a version of that. Oh. And so we have no background in cooking at all. So we were let's someone already has proved that their thing works. So let's jump on that. And she was awesome and was yeah, go for it. Sent us a recipe, a version of it. And then we started making it, and we sent her photos and videos, and because we were what do you mean heat the milk, and what do you mean this, and so
Why?
Yeah.
What is proofing?
Yeah, totally.
Which is rising the dough.
Yes, it's an important part of donut making.
I just learned something new.
Right? Yeah. We were learning every second. Yeah. And then it got to the point though with her where she was you know what, I can't help you anymore because the altitude here in the mountains with baking is completely different.
So
yes.
fast.
Yeah.
So their dough proofed in an hour, and ours was proofing in 10 minutes. And she was I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
So we will send, she's seen photos, she follows us, we talk about it a lot. And still to this day, she hasn't tried our donuts. And so we're hoping she's going to come soon because I'm are they even the same? What is this? She's she's I don't know. They look very different from what I'm making. So we don't know what happened between then and where they are now.
See if the tastes are the same or completely different.
We don't know. Yeah.
Have her make it here, see her shot.
Literally, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So we tested so many things in the recipe though, because we changed while we were learning and didn't know why they weren't the same as hers, or we would send her pictures and she's like, I don't understand what you're doing.
And when we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, we didn't know what we didn't know. So we like changed the recipe a bunch of times and had like amazing taste testers, like friends that would taste test, and I would be like, okay, like A or B.
Yeah, gladly.
Yeah. A or B, and they were like, they're both great. And I'm like, okay, but A or B? Like, which one are we going with?
Which one are the best?
Yeah. So then we eventually got to like, okay, this is the recipe, just go for it. Thankfully, we had a friend, we had a lot of taste testing friends. And then I think like towards the
I
end.
know who would say no to that, to be honest.
For sure, yeah. And then they kind of got to the point, like there was a few of them in particular where like, just go for it. Like you're ready, like go.
Just
and
go.
That gave us the confidence, because I think I would have like kept having them taste test for years before I finally took the plunge.
I was like, these are really amazing donuts. Like,
Yeah.
I don't typically like donuts that much, but these are amazing. So
Yeah, you were
I was
ready.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
how it
the
all started.
experiment and your process you went through, like, and your discovery as you went on. Like, that is such a cool story. Like, and
It was
like,
a lot.
do you like switch up your donuts per month, or is it the same? Because you said you have days.
Yeah, so we do donut days. So the dough stays the
day.
same, right? Yeah. Everyone looks forward to it. The dough stays the same, but the glazes change. So we kind of work on, we have some glazes that we repeat, like what we call classic flavors, you know, like vanilla bean, maple, old fashioned, and then we switch up the specialty flavors. So sometimes we'll repeat ones like strawberry, which is like a crowd favorite. It's like the best strawberry donut you'll ever have.
It tastes like
gosh,
it
yeah.
tastes like eating a fresh strawberry, which is unbelievable. And
Because it's real, like we only use real ingredients, so. Yeah, and then so sometimes we'll repeat stuff like that because people want them back, but then we come out with new flavors as well.
That is really. I love how you're using like actual natural foods. Like it's
Yeah.
not
Real
like
food.
processed foods or anything. It's
No.
like all fresh.
Everything's
And,
real.
Like, you
Yeah.
had to like figure out how to even get in a kitchen. Like, what did you have to do to like? Do you have to like go through school, like get some schooling things, or like?
just hands-on. Just
hands-on.
doing it. We show up in the kitchen and we're like, so how do we do this?
Yeah, it was cool. Like we met with a couple people because we knew that like we made I think 40 donuts in our home kitchen for taste testing, and we were like, we can never do this again. Like it was absolutely crazy.
Oh my god!
We
I
live
believe
in like a small condo, so it did not work. And then just like talking to friends about, okay, like the next thing we need is to find a kitchen because the commercial kitchen in town didn't have a deep fryer and we needed that. And then just through those connections, Maggie, shout out to Maggie, she was like, oh, I know the manager at Tavern. So she introduced us. We went and met with the chef, Julie. And it's just so like amazing. They were just like, we'll make it work. Like, let's do this.
Whoa.
And so we then had like kind of the health inspector, and we had to take some, I think like a food safety course it was, which was super illuminating.
Very illuminating.
Yeah, which was great.
Who knew?
We were like, oh, okay, this is good.
all the things you learned. Like now you know. Like you're
Totally.
building up your experience.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know that many bugs existed, but good to know now.
No, cooking was so dangerous.
Yeah.
Now whenever you go into your kitchen, it's just like,
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Wash your hands a million times.
It was like, we got to do things differently. Yeah, it was good. And then, the health inspector came, all that kind of stuff. And then I just remember going into the kitchen, getting ready for the health inspector to come. And just like, you learn like the dishwasher and like what, like it needs to be at a certain level of sanitization and all that kind of stuff.
All the basic stuff.
All the basic things that everyone knows except for us. And we walked in and I remember asking Julie, like, so how does the dishwasher work? And she was like,
Yeah, and like,
So we're really starting at zero. I'm like, yeah.
so the health inspector's coming, like, what should we know?
Yeah.
Practical
It was great. I was like, we learned it in the online course, but practically, where is everything?
So,
Yeah.
it's probably like what my college friend used to do. The health inspector would kill her.
Yeah.
She used to hide all her dirty dishes and put them in the dishwasher, and like it was a broken dishwasher, just like, shoved in the fly.
We don't do that.
No, I think your head went right.
Yeah.
You might be like at zero. I think
Yeah.
she might be like, if you're at zero, then
Yeah.
So we started with a head start then.
Yeah, we
you
started
had
head start.
You damn flies.
True, yeah. No. Yeah, it's been really good. We've learned so much. So much. Yeah.
Wow. What's been your like biggest learning thing, do you think? Because like you've learned so many things. Like I love how you just like had a problem and you figured out how to get over it. All the
For
little
sure.
humps and
So
like
many
how
times.
you want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's business really, is that
Yeah.
you're always going to have problems and you just need to problem solve. Be good
Yeah.
at solving those problems and not quitting. I mean, there's definitely moments where it felt like you know, we were such amateurs, but I think that it's inspiring. Like I've kind of changed my perspective on it. I used to feel like bad that we didn't know things, you know, and that we were starting from zero. But from talking to people, it's just like actually people are inspired by it, that like maybe they could do that too. You know, you don't need to like go to culinary school to start a food business.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I think there's just
I'm feeling super inspired.
Good.
Like, just talking to you guys. Like seriously, I'm just like, ooh, now I want to go out and start a business. Like seriously.
I mean, if it's good, like I think the taste testing has been really important. Like the time we spent there, because I think once you have a product that's really, really good, you can figure everything else out from there.
Well, and then word was spreading, you know, like so all the questioning we did in the beginning and taste testing, I think, paid off.
Yeah, you don't question anymore, for sure. You're just like confident.
Yeah,
I feel like I question.
these are good.
My personality
good.
is I always question. People are like, this is the best donut of my life. I'm like, oh, babe, like they said it's the best donut. She's like, yeah.
I told you that.
Yeah.
But,
Like, see, I told you. I told you.
but I think that's why, so Makaylah's in charge of making glaze recipes and all that. So I think that's why the glazes are so good. Is like, I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But then she keeps going until it reaches this like
Until it hits like
high
it was
standard
here,
level.
but now it's like
Yeah.
here. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And that's why, like, we just released a chocolate donut on the last donut day for the first time, and she worked on it for a long time, and like, it was amazing. I'm like, I don't even, like, I haven't stopped talking about it, and she's still like, are you sure it was good?
I know, I'm
I'm
terrible.
like, yes,
It's like, yes, please.
please make it every donut day.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I definitely feel like it took so long to perfect because I went to Le Chocolatier in Canmore. We used their kind of product. They helped. And I remember talking to John and Belinda the first time and being like, so how do I do this? Like,
What's chocolate about?
And they're like, well, you need to like temper it. And I'm like, okay, define temper. Yeah. And so just like literally starting from zero. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. It's been a journey. Yeah. So your question was like biggest learning. I honestly don't know. I think there's so many learnings in like food, you know, stuff like that, because we're total amateurs. Well, now we're not donut amateurs anymore.
No, we're not.
But I think the biggest learning has been probably more around the mental health side, you know, and being able to make sure that we started out this with the intention to like have our values be centered around centered around Frankie, our dog, and she's just like all about joy and balance and well-being, and like, you know, like a dog doesn't sit there worrying and anxious and stressed about something. She's just all about like love and happiness.
It's like, play with me.
Totally. Yeah. So whenever we're like stressed or something like that, we just really want to bring ourselves back to like the essence of what we want this business to like mean for others. And it's like, if we're like stressed and like hating it and like not enjoying ourselves, like that's
Get your donuts now.
yeah. It's just like, well, then like that's not what we're speaking to our customers. That's not the lifestyle we're kind of like we're about like giving to them. So like everything we're about with our donuts is that they're infused with love. Like it's about joy. It's about having something to look forward to. And so like if we're like hating life making them, like that doesn't match. So the whole way we're really tweaking and making sure like if we ever are not happy with something or something doesn't feel good, we debrief, we talk about it. How can we do it better? Yeah, that's really, I think, the biggest thing for us.
That is amazing. And like you have days when like stressful, like you have a bunch of orders coming in that one day. How do you deal with that stress? Because like you put so much love into it, and like what do you do?
Dance parties.
Yeah.
Dance parties, yeah, in the kitchen. If things are stressful, we have to like pause and like hug to get the serotonin going back. Yeah. I mean, what do you do?
Well, I don't know. I just keep, like, I'm in charge of like production and making sure timing is working. So I just keep trying to figure it out, because in the kitchen, we never knew this. So in our other business, we just do the work and then it's done. We're in a kitchen, there's so many things that can go wrong that you would never expect would go wrong. So like we changed the flour once and all of a sudden it's like clumpy. We're like, oh my God, we have to sniff the flour. Like now there's all this time. So I just try and really put buffers in to make sure we're not putting too much pressure on ourselves. To me, that's the most important, because if it's not built in, which is, I guess, with any kind of mental health type thing, if you don't build it in your routine or whatever, it's not going to happen.
It doesn't happen, yeah.
So I think for me, that's
Yeah, and that's been super important for us.
And
Is
I lay
like,
down on my breaks.
yeah.
We're up all night, right? So, yeah,
Coffee, we weren't coffee drinkers. We are now.
100%.
You're
Only
now.
only on donut days.
No
but
choice.
Yeah.
No choice.
Yes,
Yeah.
coffee, donuts, check, we're good.
Yeah.
That is really, really cool. And for your big days, how can people find you? Like, how do you get the word out so people can like grab and like chase these amazing donuts? Like, you put your heart and soul into these.
Totally, yeah. You can go on our website or social media. We post like the next upcoming donut day. And then on our website, it'll tell you when pre-orders open. And you want to like set alarms, circle it in the calendar 5 times, and get on the website at the time that pre-orders open because they generally sell out pretty fast, which we're so grateful for.
That's incredible. How much do you sell your donuts for? How do you get them to people?
Yeah, so right now, like you buy on the site and then you come and pick up on the donut day. So like sometimes the pre-orders are usually on a Monday because our donut days are usually on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, and our donuts range, the prices range from like $5.50 to right now I think $7.50 depending.
They're
So
like double the size of a regular donut.
Yeah.
People compare them to their face.
everyone
Oh my
is
gosh,
like,
just smile.
They're like, it is.
yeah, they open the box and they're like, you weren't kidding. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
We can easily make an advertisement with that, the light shining up from the donut.
Yeah.
on the side of their face.
That's what people look like when they're picking them up for the first time. Like, I made it.
Yeah, it's so awesome. That secondhand joy of like seeing everyone else's joy is just like, we can't get enough of
Especially
it.
when you created it too,
Yeah.
and you see that joy in others, just like, oh my gosh.
It's the best
like,
feeling.
Well,
Yeah.
and then people coming back, you know, like that's just been amazing too.
People drive from like Calgary and Edmonton now, which is really
Whoa.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's awesome.
Yeah, and our website is frankieddonuts.com and our Instagram and all that is Frankie D's
Frankie
Donuts.
D's Donuts. Yeah.
I'll put a link down below. I'll have them text it to me along with pictures.
Yeah. We'll text you pictures.
Oh my gosh, text me everything. We'll be like hunting for those days now.
Yeah.
I can already see Leah and I circling it on the calendar.
Yeah.
Donut day.
Yeah, people set reminders, and last time the chocolate sold out in like 2 minutes, and people
Holy
would like
moly.
come and pick up their donuts, and they were just like, like it sold out, and like it was in my cart, and then someone took it, and and they were like, oh, I forgot, I got distracted, and like 15 minutes later, I went on the site, and it was like they were all gone.
Like,
I was
oh
like,
man, 2 minutes, like that's crazy.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you think you're gonna, because you have such amazing demand for it, do you think you're gonna expand production?
Yeah,
in the
like
future?
honestly, from the first day, we've been working to expand every time. And now we're at the point where, again, like it's that balance of trying to expand production because we want to serve more people. We want more people to get that donut joy with the balance of buffers and mental health and making sure we're not overproducing.
Yes.
Because we want the quality to always be there. So right now we're at like 250 to 300 donuts each time. And in order to go that next step, we need to start getting help. So that's on the horizon. And then, increasing the amount of days. Right now we have 2 businesses, so we're trying to balance both.
Wow.
But when we start hiring and getting help, we can start to like do more donut days, and we're starting to do weddings, which is like such an
best.
amazing,
Whoa.
it's amazing.
These like donut walls, they're so beautiful and they like make people's jaws drop when they see it because it's so
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah.
That's so cool. And what's your other business that you do on the side, like when you're not running donuts all day?
Donuts are kind of the side business. Well, they're like your full-time business pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we do both. Like I run mostly Frankie D's Donuts, and Fia-Lynn runs our other business because we learned that, being married and living together and doing businesses together, it's good to like not have 2 cooks in the kitchen in business. So
2 separate bosses. Yeah. so
yeah, we
the-
collaborate, but
Yeah, we support each other, but one person runs. So the other business I've had for 17 years is called Scale Naturally, and it's about helping mostly like holistic practitioners and holistic businesses grow their businesses by tapping into their unique gifts. So we've got ways of helping people identify what their unique gifts are and building their business around it. Obviously completely different than what we're doing now.
super
You
different.
guys get
Yeah.
like a huge range of things.
I know, right? Well, and we do retreats and stuff, so it's like just a totally different.
We're like on our laptops, like, I mean, pre-COVID, people would fly out like from different places around the world, like our clients to come and do retreats here in Canmore, because like obviously the mountains, it's beautiful. And then COVID happened and we went more virtual. And so now we're doing a mix of both. Like we have clients like online and we do calls and stuff like that, and then have people still fly out here. So it is a lot between both, which is why like we have such a big vision for Frankie D's and where we want it to go, and it means that we're going to need help. So we're excited for that next part of the journey, because that's something we haven't done either. But
and having like team and staff to grow with us, and
yeah, we're excited.
That sounds really, really cool. And I love how you bounce off each other, and probably like learning through what you do with other business doing things. You can like be like, oh, this person did this, let's try this. Or like, hey, I know someone, click, click, click.
Yeah.
And how can people like, if they want to start a business or something, like how can they reach you or like play off ideas or go on these retreats?
Scalenaturally.com. Scale like grow, like SCALE. Yeah, scalenaturally.com. We do all the work there, Makaylah and I. And we've used everything. So this is what's really fun about it, is we help people design their business around their strengths and gifts. And we've done that with Frankie D's, and like really around Makaylah's especially.
And Frankie's.
And Frankie's. And it's so aligned. Like, it's so aligned. Like if I was in charge of Instagram and stuff, there would be no post. Like I have Instagram for the other business, and there's literally 0 posts.
Yeah.
So, you know, like that's really what we stand for, is really doing things in a way that honors who you are. And
I think that's the other thing about mental health, is that like you need to do things that you enjoy, like, you know, creating a life that you want to live for has been really important for me. I have a history of depression, and it's like being able to like focus on joy and not like this mindset that like life has to be hard, like working on removing that like you can actually like grow business and be happy. Like yes, like we work hard, we definitely like work hard.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, and we want to work hard at things we enjoy. So like it has to be meaningful and like bring us joy. And so like it's been a really cool collaboration between both businesses, that like that's our background, is like working on that with others, and having that business be very much based around like her strengths and my strengths. So like what our roles are depends on like what we really enjoy. And it's the same in this business. Like her role is like what she's really good at and what she enjoys and brings her energy and life, and me too. And then the things that we don't enjoy, we're looking to like find people that like that's the thing that they enjoy, because we also don't want to hire people that like hate what they're doing. Like that's against everything we believe in.
You want to like show, like have people that love it too.
Yeah,
And
totally.
with your experience with depression and stuff, what would you like give advice to people who are in that state of depression, and like what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, the best thing I found for myself is like creating a life that I want to live. And
That's
part of
amazing
that,
advice.
yeah, and a part of that is also, I think like you had that advice too, right? Like creating a life that you want to live. And then the other thing for me that I realized, like became conscious of, I guess it was an unconscious thing I had just developed for myself, was always having something to look forward to. And I think that that's like the big meaning behind Frankie D's Doughnuts, is like the donuts was something that like it's not just about donuts, like it brought joy. Like it was born in the pandemic too, so people would like get to leave their house and have a reason to leave their house to like go pick up donuts.
and be allowed to leave their house.
Yeah, and know that we like made them with so much intention and love. Like everything is made from scratch, only real ingredients. So there's a lot of love put behind it. So donuts is something I looked forward to, but like just I have something every single day at the end of my day that I look forward to, like whether it's a treat, whether it's something I just really enjoy, a show I really want to watch. Like I intentionally put it in my mind as something that I get at the end of the day, and I have like things weekly, monthly, like always on the horizon. Because I think with depression, my experience of it is I just touched the microphone.
Oh, that's okay. I've done that a couple times.
Okay, I'm just like, yeah. My experience with it is it just like, it's really hard to see beyond the current pain and suffering and despair. And so focusing my attention on something in the horizon has really helped me, because depression, like often it feels like there's nothing in the horizon to look forward to. So yeah, that's been really big for me.
That is huge, and I love your advice and your passion you guys show. Like as soon as you showed up, I'm just like, oh, this could be a good interview.
That's awesome.
I was like, yes. And you're inspiring. Like you literally didn't know how to do anything. And like now look at you. Like you have a day you're looking forward to every week with donuts and a plan, and then you're helping other businesses. Like I love what you do. Like don't ever stop. And like, do you guys have anything you'd like to say to the viewers before we disappear here, or?
I think that was great advice. Like, I think that's the biggest thing, is that finding like what you enjoy and not being perfect at it either. Like that we're not saying that like we only enjoy things 100% of the time. Like that's not realistic, but we're devoted to like when we don't enjoy it, when we're stressed, when we like, I have panic attacks, like identifying what was the thing that brought that on, and trying our best to like remove that, change it, like continue to grow and be better. And never quit. Like, unless it's something that's not serving you, I believe in quitting. When things aren't good for you, quit them.
If you want it.
If you don't want it, quit it. But like, but don't quit because you don't think you're enough, or because it's too hard, or because you're new, or because of what other people say. If you keep going, like, eventually you will get there.
Yeah, like I've had Scale Naturally. It's changed in name over the years, but it's been 17 years. If like after 3.5 years, I was still not, it wasn't working. And people said like, why aren't you quitting? It was just a matter of time. And the opposite side of it as well is if you're already like, if you're in a job you hate, or if you're doing something you don't enjoy, like it's never too late. Or like I became an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer by training. And so I invested a lot of money to become that. And I was like, I don't like this. And I walked away pretty fast. And like, thankfully, so no matter what you've invested to be where you are, like you can always start again or start fresh.
Yeah.
That is seriously amazing advice, and I'm feeling so inspired tonight thanks to you two. Like seriously, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And you guys check out the donuts. Like I know I am going to be after tonight.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Show Bam Show.
Show Bam Show.
Show Bam Show.
Show Bam Show.
Expanding our community.